Have you ever stumbled upon a quote that resonated with you so much it instantly gave you a boost of motivation and inspiration? We all have moments where we feel stuck and demotivated, but the power of a few carefully chosen words can have a huge impact on your mindset and attitude. And in today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and uninspired. And that's why we often look to motivational quotes to give us that extra push to keep going. From famous figures to everyday people, inspiring words have the ability to lift us up and inspire us to be our best self. But what is it about these quotes that make them so effective? First, motivational quotes provide us a sense of perspective. When we're caught up in the stress and the busyness of our daily lives, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. But a powerful quote can remind us of what's truly important and motivate us to keep going. Second, motivational quotes can boost our confidence and self-esteem. Like when we're feeling challenged or unsure of ourselves, a well-timed quote can provide us the encouragement that we need to keep going. Finally, motivational quotes can help us cultivate a positive mindset. By surrounding ourselves with uplifting words, we can train our brains to focus on the good things in life rather than dwelling on the negative. That's why in this video, I'm going to share with you a quote that had a huge impact on my life. And my hope is that it will have the same impact on you as well. And that quote is from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And if you've read this book, then you know that it has a bunch of amazing quotes. So the quote we're going to be discussing in this video today is a quote: stop saying I can't and start asking how can I. And the reason why this quote is so important and why I chose this quote and why it had such an impact in my life is because like going through like junior high in high school, I always had the mindset that I wanted to like start a business. Like working a 9-to-5 job wasn't something for the rest of my life, wasn't something that appealed to me. But obviously, you know, being that young, I didn't really have that mentality of why. It's just something I knew. I always had an itching to just want to start my own business. But when you're growing up and you're sharing your views with your ideas with a lot of people, there's all this negativity of why you can't do it, why you won't be successful, like how hard it is, or they give you all the reasons why you won't be successful in terms of like you know starting a business or building wealth for yourself. And you hear that growing up, and it's easy to be discouraged and say, you know what, I guess that's right. Like, you know, the statistics show that it's really difficult, you know, starting a business or building wealth, especially when you're not around there. If you're not around a lot of people that built wealth or people that are successful in business, it's hard to like say, all right, it can happen. It's hard to look for that role model to be like, all right, it can happen. And when you're not around that, it's easy to be discouraged and not want to actually try. But luck for me, I was always a stubborn kid, and I always wanted to be like, you know what, this is what I wanted to do. I just didn't have that person to just guide me into it. But you know, as I got older and I started reading books, and it's something that kind of like you start to develop, and you start to say, okay, it is possible. But to go to the point is just that we're so quick to tell ourselves why we can't do something. And this is not just in business. It's just any aspect of life, whether you're someone that's trying to get in shape, or maybe you're interested in a person, you like someone, and you're like, all right, you know, I want to go talk to that person, I want to ask that person out. We're always so quick to tell ourselves why we can't achieve any of the goals that we want to. And the reason why that's important, because instead of saying you can't, you know, you should ask the question, how can I achieve this goal? Because when you do that, it pushes your brain, it like helps you focus more, or it forces your brain to say, all right, come up with a solution to that problem, right? And as opposed to saying I can't. When you say I can't, it just shuts off the brain. It's like, all right, you know what, I can't, so I guess there's no other way to accomplish this goal. But when you start asking yourself the question, how can I, you start to develop solutions for that problem, and it starts opening up your mind to all different possibilities to accomplish that goal. And I think that's an important thing that a lot of people could find helpful and accomplish their goal. If you're someone that's trying to get in shape, whether you're trying to burn fat, build muscle, or just trying to lean out, lose weight, whatever it is, whatever goal you're trying to accomplish when it comes to like transforming your body, instead of, it's so easy to just say, oh, I can't because, oh, you know, it takes a lot of work. You gotta put so many hours in the gym. You gotta eat right. There's so many barriers in which people can just put in front of you on why you can't achieve your goal. But once you say I can't, it just shuts the brain off, and it just you give up right away. But once you start asking that question, how can I, then you start finding ways. You start reading, you start talking to people. You're like, all right, so how can I build muscle? How can I lean down, or how can I get in shape where I'm active and I feel good about my life every time I wake up? I have a lot of energy. You start trying to come up with ways, and you start researching, you start educating yourself on how to get to reach that goal that you're trying to achieve. So I think it's important to like, and it's that one quote that can change a lot of things, because I think for a lot of people, they find reasons to not want to do something, right? They try to find every excuse in the book for why they can't accomplish the goals. And it's easy to do that. It's easy to just say, I can't, and be like, you know what? I can't do it because of X, Y, Z. Instead of really saying, you know what? How can I? How can I achieve this goal? What do I need to do in order to reach the goal that I want to achieve? And I think for a lot of people, if they just had that one mindset, if they just change that one type of verbiage, instead of saying, I can't, say, how can I? If they switch that, I think people would find it easier or find themselves being able to like accomplish more of the goals that they set out for themselves. So for me, especially someone that was in business, having that mindset and asking the question, how can I, really opened up a lot of possibilities and gave me the opportunity to just really learn about all different ways and how to achieve my goal. And yes, I failed a lot with businesses I started. So a lot of them didn't work out. Some, a couple did, but it's a learning experience through that whole process, of learning experience until you reach the goal that you want to go to. So I think, and I think that's important. So when you're faced with a barrier, I wouldn't, don't say I can't. Like, just ask the question, how can I? Because then you'll find so many different ways to come up with a solution to that problem. So I think for a lot of people, if you just switch that mindset, when you're faced with a issue or a situation where it seems kind of difficult, just ask yourself the question. So how can I, get around this? How can I figure this out? And you'll find yourself having, I think I think you'll come up with a lot more solutions to your problem. So that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you got any comments or questions, make sure to leave it down below. Hit the like button and share. And if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. All right, so you guys take care and have a good one. Later.